Hey, Mega Moms! Jessica Hensley here with Real Estate Mega Moms, where we help moms create a life and a business that they love. And I am joined by Stephanie Stockberger, my partner. Hey, Steph.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Hey, we are going to be talking about success by design. So grab a notebook. You're going to want to grab a notebook for this one. Unless you're driving, of course, then, wait till you're home and you're safely at your desk. But grab a notebook and a pen, maybe a cup of coffee, and go through this exercise with us where we're going to help you build your success by design. Okay, hopefully everyone grabbed their notebook and their pen. This is such a powerful exercise, and periodically we bring this to our group. It's something I've gone through with my students and on this show, on the podcast, really since the beginning. I started out doing this, I feel like it was in 2018 was the first time that I started, and it was about this time of year too. So we're at the end of the year, the fourth quarter. Most people are really taking stock of their life and their business and just asking themselves, what do they want to change in the new year? Where, if they're happy in their life. And so that is truly what we're going to talk about. It's not just about business. This is about your entire life. So Steph, you've gone through this exercise with me, and I feel like you told me that it made an impact on you. What can they expect to kind of walk away with after going through this process?
Yes, I've been through it many times with you. Actually, I want to say it was like 2019 was probably the first time, and I think it was at a team retreat or something like that. So I think the important thing is, and what I've always gotten out of it is kind of a reevaluation of life, and what I want, because I think we forget what we're working for.
Mm-hmm.
And we forget to put it down on paper. And when you put something down on paper, for me at least, it becomes real.
Yeah.
And it becomes something that, I want to make a plan for. So I would say, if anything, it's just going to get us to slow down, take a minute, figure out what's important. We all have, whether it be families or pets or whatever the case is, like, what are we working for? What is this life all about? So I incorporate my faith, and, I kind of make it a mini business plan, kind of like a summary of what I want to grow for the next year. So I'm
Yeah.
excited. Actually, as you're speaking, Jess, I am going to write some things down as well.
Perfect. I think I'm going to as well. I have my notebook with me. So, the first step in this process is assessing all of the different areas of our life. And the reason this is important, if you are feeling stuck, if you are feeling burned out, I'm hearing this more and more with the agents in our group or just in this industry in general. Interest rates have risen a little bit, and so that's affected how many buyers there are and just the confidence in the real estate market. And, when we are struggling for business and to get commissions, I feel like the rest of our life sort of goes on the back burner. And it's good for us to remember, oh, yeah, this area of my life is really important. And I also need to focus on this. And this is how I'm going to do it. So that's really what this is about, is understanding where your primary focus should be so that you can have a balanced life. So if you picture each of these categories as kind of like a pie, so you have like a circle, a graph, and each section is a pie, and you're going to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. And so what we're really looking for is a very balanced circle. Think of a wheel. Think of like your tire or something like that. You don't want it to look like a square and have all these uneven points. You want it to be pretty rounded so that you can go through life smoothly. And I think when you guys go through this, you're going to recognize, oh, that's why I'm feeling a little off. So if I can improve that area and bring it up, then it's going to make the rest of my life and the rest of the areas more successful. So Hopefully that makes sense. So, the first part of this exercise is to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst and 10 being perfection with no room for improvement. And it's totally okay if you have the same number on more than one of these categories. This is not a ranking in order of 1 to 10. This is just how you feel about that one specific category on the scale of worst to perfect. Okay, so first up, we have health. How are you doing in your health? How would you rate yourself with your health? Are you tired all the time? Are you in pain? I know Steph, she's been in pain, had some different things going on there. Are Is there something that you can do that would improve your health? Right. So ask yourself just honestly, where would I rate myself on a scale of 1 to 10? And keep in mind, we're talking about for you, for your life of what you know is possible. So I'm going to just use Steph as an example, if you don't mind, because a lot of people deal with these things, right? They may have more of a chronic illness or something that's more permanent. So I don't want you to compare yourself to a 20-year-old that has no health issues. Like really think about your own life and know what could I do to improve this to feel really good for me. Does that make sense, Steph?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, so like for instance, I mean when health came up, I'm like 5.
Right.
But my 5 might be different than someone else's 5. So, and for me, the things that I need to do to feel better, get healthier are probably not the same things that a typical person without the chronic pain would do. Mine might
Mhm.
be like the ability to walk around the block or go to the swimming pool and be able to swim. So those might be just things that would help me
Yeah.
where someone without the conditions that I have might be running a marathon
Yeah, or
or
strength training or something like
yeah,
yeah.
those kind of things. So whatever
Right.
that is to you.
Yeah. Okay, so the next area is friends. How would you rate yourself on your friendships? We're going to be talking about family later on. So this is truly just your circle of friends. How would you rate? Do you make time and have a priority to have a good, solid friend group? So 1 being worst, 10 being best. And I'm going to kind of stream through this just for the sake of time. But if you need to pause on any one of these just to really ask yourself and think, do that. Definitely do that. What about your environment? And this is not global warming, okay? We're not talking about that. We're actually talking about the environment that you're in. So this could be like your aesthetics. Are you happy with maybe how tidy you keep your space? For a while, I was following Minimal Mom, and she really inspired me to like declutter and get rid of a lot of things, just less things to manage because when my space was cluttered, I felt overwhelmed. And this exercise really helped me realize that if I'm in a really pretty space that's organized, I'm going to be more likely to be more productive and happier. Okay. So how would you rate your environment? And that could even be like toxic or non-toxic, just putting that out there. So whatever this means to you, you're going to rate yourself on that. What about your family? How would you rate yourself with your kids? Not necessarily spouse. We're going to talk about spouse in a little bit, but in your family, maybe your mom, your sisters, brothers. How would you rate yourself with your relationships with your family on a scale of 1 to 10? Okay, next section is your joy and restoration. So, how would you rate yourself on your prioritization of spending time to rejuvenate, spending time to, and I just ask yourself, like, how often am I joyful and happy? How would you rate yourself in that area? Okay, what about your career? How would you rate yourself in your career? Are you where you want to be? Are you meeting your goals? Do you have the listings or the buyers that you want to work with? Are you more established in your community? How about your mental health? How would you rate yourself on your mental health? Do you feel thoughts of depression or anxiety, or are you happy most of the time and the one that's encouraging others and thankful and grateful? How would you rate yourself in your spirituality? And this can go hand in hand probably with some of the other categories, but I'm a Christian. Stephanie is a Christian. We do base a lot of our curriculum on just our own experiences. And so I know if I am right with God, right, if I have that relationship that's uninterrupted with um, hardships or sin or bitterness and things like that, because that does disrupt my communication with God, right? And so I know if I'm right with him, that other areas of my life are going to be right as well. And Steph, feel free to interrupt me at any point here if you want to add anything to this.
No, I think you're doing a very good job.
Okay. Okay, how would you rate yourself with your finance? This could mean money that you're earning, but it could also mean like how you're managing your money. Are you doing a good job with putting money aside for savings? Do you live within your means? How would you rate yourself with your finances? Scale of 1 to 10. Okay, what about romance? Now, I will say this. Let's say you're single and you have no desire to have a partner or spouse. You're not going to rate yourself 1 on this because remember, this is individualized for you. How do you feel about it? If you are totally satisfied with that, then you might rate yourself a 10 or an 8, or maybe it's something that you're indifferent towards, right? So maybe you're going to put a 5 there. But unless it's something that's really bothering you that you self identified as this is an area of my life that could use some major improvement, you don't have to, just because you're single, you don't have to rate it a low number. So I just want to put that out there. If you're married, and you're going to know if you have a good relationship, right? And if the romance is there. So just be truthful. You are the one that's going to assess this. This is not something you have to show to anyone else. And it's really just meant to help you identify where you should be prioritizing your time.
You know,
And then,
when you, oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say when you said romance, um, it just kind of hit me. It's just like that is one of the things that you actually need to tend to, and
mm,
sometimes I forget that. Just like joy, like you
yeah,
need to tend to that. Like that's one of the areas that you need to spend attention on. And I don't think about that through the days. Like the romance part of it's like, I love my husband. He loves me. He's supportive, all those things. But it's like, I also need to outwardly try and
mm,
put effort in and all of those things. So thanks for the
yeah.
reminder. I love that.
Yeah, it is a good reminder. And, I know when I'm in a fight with my husband or, things aren't going quite right at home, it does affect other areas of my life. It's tough to show up as the best version of me. And also if I want to model a good relationship for our son and also have a marriage, we've been married 20 years. Well, we will be married for 20 years next year. Steph, you said you guys just celebrated 30 years.
30 years in March. Yep.
That's
I know
amazing.
we're about 10 years behind in life, I think. You're
Yeah.
married for 30 years. And are you turning 40 this year, you said?
I will next year,
Next
2024.
year.
This year I'm turning
Okay.
39. Yeah,
Yep.
next
So
year's
we're
gonna be
about
a big
11
year.
years apart in life.
Okay. So my husband and I recently told him like, I need you to have at least 10 minutes. I know this doesn't sound like a lot, but when we're busy, right? We don't even get this sometimes. I need 10 minutes of your undivided attention with no phone and no kid around. That we're just and nothing else, not doing anything else, just talking. Right? I just want 10 minutes of your attention a day. So we recently just made that pact that we're going to try to do that. So
I love
anyway,
that.
the last section here is your personal growth. So how would you rate yourself as somebody that is looking to grow, looking to just the self improvement. And by listening to this and showing up to all of the trainings that we have, I mean, a lot of you probably are going to rate yourself pretty high on the personal growth. But if you're not, if you're only putting junk in your mind and maybe trash TV in your mind all the time, okay, I'm not saying there's not a place for that sometimes, but if you're not trying to grow, then you're not going to grow in other areas of your life and you're going to have an unbalanced life. So how would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 on the personal growth? Okay, so now that we've gone through the areas of our life and we've rated ourselves, what I want you to do is circle 2 or 3 areas that you ranked yourself the lowest. I should have been doing this with you, but Steph, do you mind sharing the ones that you ranked lowest?
Yeah, sure. So I would say probably health was a 5, and that was my lowest number. And that again, like I was sharing, is like literally just me taking the little steps and being okay with not being so extreme. I'm not going to be a runner. So those are the things I'm going to work on. And then joy. I literally just started picking up stamping again. I love crafts. I'm not really skilled with it, but I love doing it. So
Yeah.
joy is something that I need to focus on. And then mental health. And I think my mental health goes along with my health. Um, Chronic pain can, you know, drain your mental energy. So mental health, my physical health, and then joy and rest are my three.
Yeah, those are so good. I love it. So you circled 2 or 3, and so then ask yourself, select the one that makes the most sense to work on at this point in your life.
Yes. So then from there, I would say health in general will be my number one. And it's been my focus for, 6 months to a year already. So yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Okay, and so the reason we're just picking one is because when we've identified this, like, unbalanced wheel, basically we're saying, "Okay, if I can improve that, then it's going to help the other areas by default." And I want everyone to understand what we're doing here is we are choosing one focus that we will be basically laser focused on. There may be different tasks that you're going to assign yourself that's going to help with that and other things, but at the end of the day, in 12 weeks or, however long you give yourself, I recommend 12 weeks. That area we're trying to incrementally improve it. It may not be a 10, but maybe we can bring it from a 5 to a 6, right? And it's going to help the other areas of your life by default. So that's basically what we're doing. So then you're going to ask yourself, what are the top 3 goals associated with this top priority that I can accomplish in the next 12 weeks? So for Stephanie's example, her health. So and you don't, I'm going to say, Steph, if you don't want to, you don't have to share all of this. Um,
I'm
but
totally fine with it.
okay, okay.
Open book.
Okay, so regarding Stephanie's health, so you're going to think, Stephanie, what are 3 things that you would like to see improved within that health category within the next 12 weeks? And I'm going to say this that you have control over.
Right. That's important. Super
Yeah,
important. Um, like for me, so I met with a liver doctor yesterday, and my liver numbers were high, my liver's inflated, all those things. And I think it sounds like it comes from not eating the right foods. I need to focus on, I'm not one that will want to go out and say, I'm on a diet, I need to lose weight.
right.
But he said, if you even lost 5% of your weight, how it could affect your cholesterol. I'm borderline diabetic, all the things that kind of have came on. I think chronic pain stopped my activity, and I sit down a lot. So
Mhm.
I think, walking more, which I enjoy walking. Sometimes I can and sometimes I can't, but when I can, I think that's a big one. And I think that's going to help me, if I can get 5% off, then it's going to help cholesterol numbers and sugar levels. And those are 2 things that I can see on a scale. I don't have to be a marathon runner to make those things happen. So I think they're doable. So I think the watching the calories, walking, those 2 things are going to help a lot of things.
Yes. Yeah, so the 3 goals, so remember when we do a goal, I'm gonna also share mine, and this is I feel like every time I go through this exercise, I end up identifying the same one that I wanna focus on, and that is my health too, but really in a different way. I do have some, like, autoimmune diseases. Somebody recently, our doctor just recently told me I have Hashimoto's and ulcerative colitis. And so all those are both definitely caused by diet. So for me, the same thing. I want to lose some weight, and mainly just like in a holistic, healthy way that's going to heal my body from the autoimmune diseases. So that's going to include being more strict on a diet. By the way, I'm doing Trim Healthy Mama. That's the diet that I'm doing if anyone wants to check it out or do it with me. So I'm going to do Trim Healthy Mama for the next 12 weeks. Also, walking, getting those 10,000 steps a day is a top priority. And then with health, let's see what else could be the third one. Oh,
How
I'm
about
taking
water?
vitamins. Yes, I drink water anyway, but definitely water intake. I'm taking vitamins. My doctor prescribed me vitamin D, iron, and iodine. So I'm just going to be really, really on top of taking my supplements. So those are my 3 goals. So then you're going to list 7 other goals. Now, this is not going to necessarily be for your top priority, but it would be for the other things that you might have ranked lower. So, if let's say you ranked finances as a lower category, then you're going to ask yourself, what's a goal I would like to see accomplished with my finances? And it could just be as simple as I want to close 5 transactions. Stephanie is 2 away from iconing. So that's like her big goal right now, right? She's focused
Pressure.
on it. Yes. So that's what you're going to do is you're going to list seven other goals. And it's best if you spread it out through the other areas that you ranked low. Okay. So not just one other area, look at all of them and ask yourself, what are 7 other tasks that I need to do? All right, so we're going to stop this podcast here. We're going to do a part 2. And in the part 2, we'll kind of bring it all together. And now that you've listed your goals, we will be talking about what you're going to do from there to actually put some action around this, put it on your calendar, and to know it's going to be really exciting. So you can see your actual success strategy. So good. All right, Steph. I will see you in the next video.
Sounds great. Bye, ladies.